On Christmas Eve, while most families hurried home with shopping bags, warm gloves, and holiday cheer, a single dad named Mark noticed something that made him stop in his tracks. Under the dim glow of a flickering street lamp, a tiny girl, no older than 7, was digging through a public trash can with bare hands. The wind was cold enough to sting the skin, yet she wore no gloves, no hat, and her little shoulders trembled as she sifted through discarded fast food wrappers. The tea first, Mark thought maybe she had dropped something. But when he watched her pull out a half-eaten sandwich, brush it off gently, and tuck it into her coat like treasure, his heart dropped. Something inside him said, "Don't walk away. You were meant to see this." Before we continue, if this story touches your heart, make sure to subscribe to Echoes of Dad, hit the like button, and leave a comment about a moment of kindness you'll never forget. Your support helps us share more stories that inspire and heal. Mark was a single father raising his 8-year-old son, Liam, in a small town in Ohio. Life wasn't easy for them. He worked long shifts at the factory, sometimes picking up side jobs fixing cars or mowing lawns on weekends just to keep up with bills. He didn't have much, but he always tried to give Liam enough love to make up for everything they lacked. That night, they had just finished buying a small Christmas ham, one Mark had saved for all month. Their plan was simple: go home, bake cookies, watch a Christmas movie, and enjoy quiet time together. But seeing that little girl alone in the cold, digging through trash, shook Mark in a way he hadn't expected. He turned to his son, who was staring too, wide-eyed and silent. "Dad, what's she doing?" "I'm not sure," Mark said softly. "But we should check on her." They approached slowly, not wanting to scare her. The girl froze when she noticed them, her fingers tightening around the sandwich she'd found. Her eyes were big, fearful, guarded, but also exhausted in a way no child's eyes should ever be. "Hi," Mark said in a gentle voice. "It's really cold out here. Are you okay?" The girl didn't answer. She took a step back, ready to bolt. "It's okay," Liam said, stepping closer. "We won't hurt you. I'm Liam." The little girl hesitated, then whispered, "My name's Holly." "Holly," Mark repeated. "That's a beautiful name." She shrugged, as if beauty meant nothing to her. "Are you hungry?" he asked. She swallowed before nodding once. Quick, embarrassed, as if admitting it was a weakness, Mark felt something tighten in his chest. He knew what hunger felt like. He knew what it was like to grow up with empty cupboards and parents who were too tired or too broken to care. He'd promised himself long ago that his son would never feel that way. Now here was another child, just as small, just as innocent, facing the cold and hunger alone. "We're headed home to make dinner," Mark said softly. "Would you like to join us for a warm meal?" Holly froze again. "I can't," she whispered. "I have to find something for my brother." The answer stunned him. "You have a brother?" She nodded. "He's 4. He was crying 'cause he's hungry. I told him I'd be right back." Mark's voice caught. "Where's your home?" She looked down. "We don't have one." A gust of wind swept through, and Holly's thin coat lifted slightly, revealing bruises along her wrist. Mark felt anger rise, but not at her. At whatever had failed her. At whatever had forced a child to search trash cans on Christmas Eve. "Where is your brother now?" he asked. "Behind the big dumpster behind the store. It blocks the wind." Liam looked up at his dad, eyes pleading. "We have to help them, Dad." Mark nodded. "We will." They followed Holly to the back of the small grocery store across the parking lot. Behind the large green dumpster, a tiny boy sat curled into a ball, wearing a coat at least 2 sizes too small and shoes full of holes. When he saw Holly return, he didn't smile. He simply pressed his face into her side as if he feared she might vanish again. "It's okay," she whispered to him. "This man wants to help us." The boy peeked up at Mark with cautious eyes. Mark knelt. "You guys need a warm place to stay tonight. How about you come home with us? Just for tonight. We've got food, heat, and blankets." Holly shook her head fiercely. "People say not to trust strangers." Mark nodded. "They're right. You should be careful. But here's what I can promise. You'll be safe with us tonight. You don't have to stay longer than that." He gently placed the bag with the Christmas ham in front of them, then stepped back. "If you come with us, this is dinner. If not, I'll leave it here for you anyway." Holly stared at the bag like it was magic. Liam stepped forward, holding his favorite scarf, the red one he'd gotten last Christmas. "You can wear this," he told the little boy. "It's warm." The boy touched the scarf with trembling fingers. Holly watched, eyes filling with tears. All right, she whispered. We'll come. When they walked into Mark's small apartment, the warmth hit all of them at once. The kids stood just inside the doorway, unsure whether to step farther in. Mark hung up their coats, noticing how thin and torn they were. He turned on the heater a little higher, then headed to the kitchen. You like cookies? He called. The boy nodded shyly. Good, Mark said. Because we're making Christmas cookies tonight. Liam took the kids to the living room and showed them his toy cars. The boy's face lit up for the first time. Holly sank onto the couch, exhaustion pulling at her as Mark prepared dinner. He overheard Holly trying not to cry. She kept wiping her eyes, pretending she was just tired. It broke him. No child should have to pretend they're okay. During dinner, the kids ate like they hadn't eaten in days, because they probably hadn't. Mark served them seconds, then thirds. The boy leaned against Holly, finally too full and warm to stay awake. After the movie ended, Holly looked at Mark. Thank you, she whispered. But we can't stay. Someone will get mad. Who? Mark asked. She hesitated. Our mom's boyfriend. He drinks a lot. Sometimes he forgets to feed us. Sometimes he. She stopped, eyes filling with fear. Mark's heart tightened. He knew that story too well. You're safe here, he said. I won't let anyone hurt you. That night, after the kids fell asleep on the couch under warm blankets, Mark sat at the table, staring at the wall. He knew what he had to do. Even if it meant paperwork, interviews, questions, months of navigating the system. He couldn't let those kids go back to danger. The next morning, Christmas Day, Mark contacted Child Protective Services. He explained everything, told them where the children had been living, what they'd shared, what he'd seen. When the children woke up, the social worker was kind, warm, and gentle. Holly was scared but held tightly to her brother. Are we going somewhere bad? She asked. No, sweetheart, the social worker said softly. You're going somewhere safe. They turned to Mark. Thank you for what you did. You may have saved their lives. As the kids were being taken to the car, Holly suddenly ran back to Mark and hugged him tight. Thank you for seeing me, she whispered. Most people don't. He felt tears burn in his eyes. You deserve to be seen, Holly. Don't forget that. Weeks passed. Then months. One afternoon, while Mark was helping Liam with homework, there was a knock at the door. When he opened it, Holly and her brother stood there, clean, healthy, smiling, standing beside their foster mother. We wanted to see you, Holly said, holding something behind her back. She handed him a small Christmas ornament, a handmade paper heart with the words "Thank you for saving us" written in a child's shaky handwriting. Mark looked at the ornament, then at the kids. You saved yourselves, he said softly. I just helped you take the first step. Before leaving, Holly hugged him again, a real hug this time, strong and grateful. You taught me something, she whispered. Kindness can change everything. Mark watched them walk away, feeling a warmth inside him he hadn't felt in years. His son slipped his hand into his. Dad, Liam said, I'm proud of you. Mark smiled. I'm proud of us. And this, dear viewer, is where the real message lives. Kindness doesn't need wealth. It doesn't need perfect timing. It doesn't require grand gestures. It just needs a heart willing to pause, notice, and care. Because sometimes, the smallest act of kindness, stopping to ask if someone is okay, can rewrite someone's entire story. It can save a life. It can heal wounds you'll never see. It can echo far beyond one cold Christmas Eve. So as you go through your days, especially during the holidays, remember this. Someone out there might be waiting for the kindness only you can give, and it might just change everything. Thank you for watching, and remember, kindness doesn't cost a thing, but its impact lasts forever.